Hi there. Today is Thursday, February 13th. It is post-op day 22, and I have had a pretty good day. It was kind of a lazy snow day. Just spent the day kind of lounging around and didn't do a whole lot of anything, which is kind of nice every once in a while. When I woke up, I kind of had like a scratchy throat, and I still have had it throughout the day. I took an emergency. It's this little drink you can drink, and it's just lots of vitamin C, so hopefully that wards off any evil spirits of a cold starting to form. I can't imagine coughing a lot or having to blow my nose would feel very good at this moment in time. I did have some drainage from my nose this morning, but that seems to have passed. I went to bed super late, like didn't sleep very good last night. Went to bed late and then woke up at 7:30. And for some reason couldn't go back to sleep until about 9. So then I kind of slept in, which was nice. But other than that, like I said, it's just been kind of a lazy day. I had an awesome early Valentine's Day surprise. Well, I guess it wasn't really a surprise. I kind of asked my sister-in-law if we could Skype this afternoon. I had Mom text her earlier. And so she got all the kids rounded up about 4 o'clock Kansas time, and we got to Skype with them. So that just completely made my entire day, week, month, whatever you want to call it. I miss them like crazy. Absolute crazy. They are ornery as all get out, but so cute and so adorable, and I love being their aunt. I actually, my mother bought me this when we were at the mall the other day. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, heart, aka like Valentine's Day sweatshirt. And the first thing, Tucker, he's 3, he's like, "You're wearing Ninja Turtles." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I bought it for you guys." So actually I had Mom buy it for me, so but I knew if I got to Skype with them on Valentine's Day that I was gonna bust it out. So they loved it, of course. Let's see, the other awesome thing, I got a sweet package in the mail today from my girls back home, my Clay Center girls, my old roommate Brett, and all my good friends Brandy and Stephanie and Leslie. Thank you so much. I'll post a picture later, but they sent me some Broncos pajamas to lounge around in while I'm recovering, so that was so awesome and so sweet of them. I truly have the best friends. You girls are great. Let's see. And then I kind of have to tell on myself a little bit. So I haven't really been able to do anything. Like, I go and I walk around and but that's really about it. So yesterday I was like, God, I just feel like, like I'm just losing muscle and just kind of getting a little flabby, which is never good for a girl. So I was talking to both my brothers, and I was like, well, I think I can do some lunges or, some squats. That can't be too bad, right? And then I was like, and maybe some tricep dips. I was like, I gotta do something. My arms are turn into mush. So I really did like not very many of them, and Mom was not very happy with me as I was trying to work out. But today my legs are so sore, and I probably did like 40 lunges. That's probably it. And then, I don't know, maybe 30 squats. Probably not even that many. But my legs are so sore, and I'm like, okay, duly noted that I don't know. I'm hoping, like, when I go back in a couple of weeks, they'll say, you know, you can run, or I guess maybe ride a bike or something, but I gotta build my strength back up, I guess. But the only other thing is I got really tired of the whole clip when I was using the shorter pouch. So I switched back to the Velcro larger style pouch. I think I'm gonna like that better. Excuse me, of course the ostomy nurse was correct. She called that one from the beginning. She's like, nobody really likes these the clip ones. And mostly it was just when you're trying to clean it after you've used it, it just didn't work as well. Not as sturdy. So I'm back to the original pouch that they had given me, and it's working just fine. So probably gonna stick with that one. Yeah, so Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Funny story about that is I asked my my nephew Blaze, he's the second oldest, I asked him if he had any sweet special Valentine at school that he was gonna, you know, a little girl that he was gonna give a special Valentine to, and he said, nah. And I was like, well, can Aunt Tana be your Valentine? He goes, maybe. It's like, good answer. Keep those girls on their toes. But I love that. That killed me. But I know a lot of people have asked me about if I'm dating anyone, or what happened to the guy that I was dating prior to my surgery. And I guess that's something I have chosen not to talk about, mostly because I didn't really know what to say. I'm still not exactly 100% sure what I want to say about it all, but I guess now is as good a time as any. I had been dating a guy for about 4 months prior to my surgery, and we met right before I went up to Cleveland the very first time, when I met with Dr. Gorgon and was trying to feel out like if I even wanted to go to Cleveland to have this surgery, if I thought that surgeon was the right surgeon, if he was, you know, if I thought he was gonna do everything in the right way that I kind of wanted it to go. And so that's weird, I guess, in the beginning, to kind of have to start out and be like, oh, well, by the way, I'm going to have a surgical consult in Ohio. And it was just really a weird time because I was feeling really good at that time. And I went ahead and scheduled my very first surgery, but we scheduled it for, of course, the middle of January, because I knew I had to wait until I had been at East Tennessee Children's for a year before my FMLA would kick in. So there were all these kind of question marks, like, am I even going to need the surgery? Like, we were trying one last drug to see if that would help, and it was a once a month injection, and Dr. Gorgon basically said, you know, let's go ahead and schedule it for mid-January, and he said that if you want to cancel it later, you can cancel it later, but he's in such high demand that he schedules out his surgeries months in advance, unless it's an emergency situation. So I went ahead and scheduled it, and I knew that it was going to be extensive. I knew that it was going to be 3 surgeries and 9 months with a bag, and I probably downplayed a lot of that because part of me didn't want to believe that I was actually going to have it happen. I really didn't think that at the time when I met my ex, I really was feeling really good, and I was very, very hopeful that I wasn't going to have this surgery. And I felt really, really good for about the next 3 months, 2.5 months. And so we didn't really talk about it much. It was just kind of always in the back of my mind. And then, I guess, maybe 8 weeks before the scheduled surgery date, I started definitely feeling bad again, and my GI doctor here had me bump back up to 40 milligrams of prednisone, and he wanted me to do these nightly enemas again, and he said, what are you waiting for? That this is going to keep happening. You're going to feel okay, which even at my okay was never a good day. And he said, you might as well just go and take care of it. Go get it done, and not have to worry about it anymore. So about that time, I just really started wrapping my head around it and accepting the fact, like, oh my God, I'm going to have this surgery. And so then Cleveland started contacting me, and they needed me to do lab work, and they needed me to go have IV iron injections and B12 shots and all of this prep work to get me to where I needed to be prior to the surgery. And again, it was always kind of out there, but we never really sat down and discussed anything. I think my famous line was, well, it's a lot bigger deal than what I thought it was going to be. And it's more intense and more extensive, because I honestly thought that they could do the first surgery and then maybe 3 months later do the second one instead of having to wait 6 months. So that kind of disheartened me a little bit. And well, then it came down to it, and it's just one of those things you couldn't put off anymore. People were asking him questions that he couldn't exactly answer about my surgery, and I think we're both to blame, I think, because I wasn't as upfront as I should have been by any means, and I think he just didn't ask any questions. And I don't know. and that was his prerogative. My prerogative wasn't to bring it up either. So, like I said, we're both at fault when it comes to that. But about 2.5 weeks before my surgery, at 2 weeks before my surgery, I was supposed to go up, or I did go up, and do all the pre-op, more lab work. I did a physical. I met with the anesthesiologist. I met with Dr. Gordon, gave him my consent to slice and dice everything, and yeah. So I finally sat down and I talked to him about everything and kind of gave him the rundown of, yeah, they're going to cut out my colon and I'm going to have an ostomy for 9 months, and I kind of explained that. And, you know, I said, I've tried everything. This is the kind of the last resort. I wouldn't want to do this, but I kind of have to. So, after that, he kind of pulled away and was very distant for a while. And I wasn't mad at first. I was just more kind of like, okay, like, I think it kind of plays into, I would love to say any girls, but I think anyone, I think girl or guy, kind of that biggest insecurity that if you tell someone they're not going to want to be with you because you're going to have an ostomy. And I know that I had a lot of anxiety about how I was going to feel about my body after this surgery. So it's no doubt that the person that you're dating is going to have those same anxieties. The biggest problem I had was, like, he really didn't voice anything like that. And I think I would have just rather he had, like, said, like, I can't deal with this, or it's just all too much for me. And that conversation didn't come until much later. So I was just kind of like, okay. But it was never really my intention to go into this dating someone. When we met, I was not looking for a relationship. I wasn't looking for a boyfriend. Kind of came out of left field, and then I just kind of let it keep happening. And so I think part of that is my fault too. Like, I should have, like I said, been more upfront and more honest about where things were going to go in my life in the next year. And he had a lot of stuff going on in his life too. So, before everyone gets out their pitchforks and starts the riots, I don't blame him. I think that everyone's entitled to have whatever kind of reaction they want to have. I have no idea what I would say or do in that same situation. I'm a nurse, so I think maybe I would understand it a lot more. But I don't think there's a right or a wrong reaction, because that's his feelings, and he did what he needed to do, and I did what I needed to do, which was go get the surgery. At the end of the day, he's been very sweet and very kind to me. We still talk, and I think of him as a friend. Um, Timing is a big, big part of relationships. Do I think that every guy would have ran? No. Do I think that um, like, am I scared to date again? No. I have no idea what it's going to be like, though. I think it's going to be awkward as heck. But, um, who knows, really? Because I think a lot of guys would be freaked out by a girl with an ostomy. I think a lot of girls would be freaked out with a guy with an ostomy, so I don't know. It's just, if you find that person that doesn't care or that it doesn't bother them, then that would be great. But like I said, mine's temporary, so even if I don't date anyone for the next year, like, I'm okay with that too. So, I don't harbor any ill will or bad feelings. I think that it was a very awkward and weird situation. And I hate this saying, but it is what it is, and you can't really argue. You can't turn back time. I know if I could, I would do things differently, and he has voiced that he would as well. So that's about it. So I have a awesome Valentine at home, Mr. Blazers. Well, he gave me a maybe, so we'll see about that. But I'm looking forward to spending the day with my mother. It's her first Valentine's Day without Dave, so we're gonna go have some fun down at Market Square, I think. So, I think that's it.